was a king in ancient times. The king had every comfort and luxury. He had a kingdom. He had servants and servants. He had wealth. The king had 3 queens. All 3 queens were very beautiful, and their behavior was also very good with each other. Despite all this, the king was always sad. The reason for the king's sadness was being childless. The king had no children. He used to be very sad about this. One day the king was sitting in the Rajya Sabha and looked very sad. On this, the king's minister asked, "Maharaj, why are you looking so sad?" The king did not answer the minister at first, but later he said, "Minister, you know that I have no children. I am very sad about this. I got Yagya done by many sages and saints, tried many remedies, but none of my 3 queens have had children yet. I am sad about this." The minister also felt very sad after listening to the king. He said, "Maharaj, don't worry. If God wishes, you will definitely get a child." After listening to the minister, the king did not say anything and again got immersed in deep thoughts. A very brave sage used to live in this kingdom. When he came to know about the king's sorrow, he went to meet the king. The sage was very brave. The brightness was clearly visible on his face. After hearing the news of his arrival in the royal palace, the king made preparations to welcome the sage. The sage stepped into the palace and went straight to the king in the Rajya Sabha. Seeing the sage, the king said, "O Mahatma, you are welcome to my palace." The sage said, "Thank you very much, Rajan." The sage said to the king, "I have heard that you do not have any child, due to which you are very sad." After listening to the sage, the king said, "Yes, this worry is eating me day by day. If I do not have a child, what will happen to my dynasty? My dynasty will end." Hearing the king's words, the sage said, "Don't worry, Rajan. There is a solution for this as well." After that, the sage said, "There is a mango tree in the north direction from here. Tomorrow morning you have to go towards the north direction and pluck 3 mangoes from that mango tree and feed them to your 3 queens. You will definitely get a child." Hearing the sage's words, the king bowed to the sage and respected him a lot. After this, the next morning, the king set out towards the north direction, and after walking for some time, the king saw a mango tree. The king plucked 3 mangoes from the tree and came home and told the 3 queens that you 3 eat 1 mango each. Hearing the king's words, all the 3 queens agreed with the king. The youngest queen among the 3 queens was a little forgetful. Even after the king's telling, she forgot to eat the mango that day, but both the queens had eaten the mango. On the other hand, when the 3rd queen realized that she had not eaten the mango, she immediately ate the mango the next day. After a few days, the king's elder and middle queen gave birth to a son. The 3rd queen gave birth to a child like a monkey. The maid reached the king with the news of the elder and middle queen giving birth to a son, and the youngest queen giving birth to a son like a monkey. The maid said, "Maharaj, both the elder and middle queens have given birth to a son." The king was very happy to hear this. He said that this is a matter of great joy. Organize a feast for the people in the whole kingdom. Play drums. After listening to the king, the maid said, "Maharaj, but there is a problem." The king said, "What is the problem? Tell me." The maid said hesitantly, "Maharaj, your 3rd queen." The king interrupted the maid and asked, "What happened to the 3rd queen? Has the 3rd queen given birth to a daughter?" The maid said, "No, Maharaj." The king asked, "Then what happened? Why are you looking so sad?" The maid gathered courage and said, "Maharaj, the 3rd queen has given birth to a son like a monkey." Hearing this, the king was shocked and he ordered the soldiers to banish the 3rd queen along with her son. In this way, the youngest queen of the king was banished from the kingdom. She started living in a remote forest with her son. As time passed, the monkey-like looking son of the younger queen grew up. The monkey-like looking son of the 3rd queen was very obedient He used to help people and was always happy. One day the third queen came to know that due to lack of rain in her kingdom, there was a drought in the kingdom and the people were suffering due to lack of food grains. The same sage told the king that if you want to give relief to the farmers by making it rain in the kingdom, then you will have to get your 3 queens to perform a Yagya. Hearing the sage, the king said that, "O Mahatma, I have banished my 3rd queen from the kingdom because she gave birth to a monkey-like son." The sage said, "O king, you have done a very wrong thing. If you do not want to see your people dying of hunger, then you will have to get a special yagya performed by the 3 queens." After listening to the sage, the king became very thoughtful. He was thinking that to whom he would approach the 3rd queen. After a few days, the problem of drought in the kingdom started getting more severe. The king, tired and exhausted, asked his soldiers to find the 3rd queen and ask her to come to the kingdom. After getting the king's order, the soldiers set out in search of the 3rd queen. After a few days, the soldiers saw the 3rd queen living in a hut in a remote forest. The soldiers bowed their heads in front of the 3rd queen and said, "Queen, the king has called you." After listening to the soldiers, the queen first refused to go, but later she thought that what is the fault of the people of the kingdom in this? If my going ends the drought in the kingdom, then I will definitely go. Thinking this, the queen, along with her son and soldiers, left for the palace. After the queen reached the palace, the sage started the yagya the next day. All the 3 queens participated in this yagya, and after performing the yagya, the next day there was heavy rain in the kingdom, and the people burst out laughing. During the yagya, the sage blessed the monkey-like son of the 3rd queen that the day it would rain, he would also turn into a human being. This is what happened. As soon as the raindrops fell on the body of the 3rd queen's son, he turned into a handsome prince. Seeing all this, the king felt very ashamed and apologized to the 3rd queen and said, "Forgive me. I was blinded by the love for my honor. That is why I behaved like this with you. But now this will not happen. You 3 queens should now live together, and the people of the kingdom want to see you 3 together." After listening to the king, the queen forgave the king, and in this way the kingdom became prosperous once again. The essence of this story is that whether it is a common man or a king, everyone should respect their wife. Ignoring your wife for the false pride of the world and society is not right in any situation.